Welcome to episode 6 of Bizloks Retro Hour. This week we're still doing the deep dive in the land of the lost. We're doing episode 6, which is The Stranger. Um, Hope you all had an exceptionally well Thanksgiving. I hope you was able to spend it with your family, your friends, and just have a good old time where you ate and you just enjoyed it and you just was able to just chill out for a little bit. I know I did. I'm back home. I'm spending time with my kids, and I'm ready to go deep diving into that land of the lost. And I hope you're ready to go with me. This week we are doing episode 6, The Stranger. Um, we are 6 episodes in. Have had a lot happen up to this point. We have a new character introduced into the land of the lost today. The character is Enik. He is a little more advanced than the rest of the Sleestaks, and we're going to find the backstory of that today. Um, but he kind of touches a couple of points in this episode in which really touch bases with me and my writing, and I want to share that with you this morning. In Ferret Run, I've got a species, interdimensional species called the Drowa. Um, they are, if you can imagine, a cross between a snail, if you can cross a cross between a squid, and you can cross between a chewed wad of bubblegum, you have a Drowa. These are highly telepathic, slimy creatures from an ulterior, alternate dimension, and their home planet is actually a gas giant. In their travels that they have taken, and they, like I said, they're an interdimensional species. They have ran upon humans before, and Trin is extremely racist against humans. Um, I wrote Trin that way because, as a whole, you know, you and me, we're humans. We do the things that we do. Um, and that's who we are. That's what we do. That's what we know. But, we, as a whole, we're a warring species. We are a species that exploits. We are a species that takes advantage of each other. I mean, there's just a lot. If you look through history as a whole, we are a species that just needs work. We need to do work on ourselves. But this isn't about this. I'm using this fact as a tool. And through that element, I kind of nailed in, and it's like trend that species being as they are, being able to look at the human race from outside the box, just racist against them. Trend does not like them, and pretty much there's one quote that I use when the human gets pulled into it. She says, "You have a case of the humans." So that's Trend's outlook, and pretty much that character in the book, that's gonna be their positioning against humans. But you kind of see that here in this episode. You'll see it when it comes, and you'll pick up on it. But that's an interesting turn to see in the 1970s story. This episode also is written by Walter Koenig. Um, until this, I had no idea that Walter Koenig was a writer. And after as I was doing research on this, he wrote this, and he wrote a couple of other episodes of Land of the Lost, and I look forward to seeing them. But yeah, The Stranger is a story that's written by Walter Koenig, and yeah, you'll see it. Side note, I'm not sure if you guys will pick up on it as you watch it, but within the first 6 minutes, you'll see that Will and Holly are just they're kind of, it seems to me that they're written different in characters between all the episodes we've seen and in this episode it seems like they were written a little bit differently and I don't know. Again, it's been so long since I've seen the episodes ahead of this, so I'll have to see if those character traits that's in this episode follow us there. But it just seems this episode the characters were written a little bit differently. See if you pick up on that as well. But anyhow, I've got it queued up, got it ready to go. Welcome to Bizloks Retro Hour. Glad to see you, and let's go and get this started. So let's roll with it. See you guys on the other side.
All right. Marshall, Will, and Holly. Bada bada bada. Routine expedition. I do like every Saturday morning that I hear this song, it's just gold and it touches my soul and I love it. It brings back that kid. I do love it. However, can't hear it all because we know the rules. So, you know where else are you at? Roar. Oh, and by the way, Walker Edmonston does the voice of Enik. I remember he did some voiceovers in Transformers and other episode shows from the 80s. All right, let's get going here.
You know, there's plenty of food around, but most of it's strange and unfamiliar to us, so we're going to have to be careful about eating something that we haven't tested.
Well,
These fruits could be poisonous.
you know where some
Hey, don't touch
turnips
that!
and carrots are.
You want me to kill you?
Hey, now wait a minute, both of you.
Trolling in the land of the lost.
Okay?
What was the one who started it?
No, she did. Now, wait a minute.
You lie.
That's enough. What we really need here is a guinea pig.
Guinea pig?
Yeah, you know, some weird little creature that we could test the food on to see if it's okay.
But what are we going to use for a guinea pig?
Oh, I saw that coming. I saw that coming.
Oh, Will. Guinea pig, I'll show you.
Hey,
Yeah.
now stop it.
Dang.
You know, this isn't a game that we're playing. If we're going to survive here, we've got to find food that we can eat.
Yeah,
You
or
understand?
at least a good coffee stand.
All right, that's better. Now listen, I'm going to go down to the end of the arbor. I want you both to wait here. Why don't you just pick some of these fruits that we know are safe to eat, okay?
Okay, Dad.
All right.
Yeah, wonderful idea. That's really gonna happen.
It's your fault.
You were the one who started it.
Being a younger brother myself, I can say he's had his share of assholios this morning.
Tree, what do you think?
No, no, no. Look.
I've recognized it when my brother had those things, and he said just like that.
Hey, look, if you don't want to go, I'll go by myself.
Not without me, you're not.
And it almost seems like this is a focused on Will being a jerk. Oh, enter the Sleestak. And look, they come in threes. Not gonna lie, I have expected him to send her in first.
Over there.
What are you whispering?
I'm not whispering. You're the one who's
Oh,
whispering.
forget it.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yep. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
You did that.
What are you kids doing in here? I told you to wait for me.
You saw the cave.
And then she went after that thing.
Somebody's gonna get their butt busted. They keep this up.
Pushed me.
No, I didn't.
And that thing, whatever it is, it don't like the vibes. It does not like those vibes.
Come on, go.
Yep. There you go. Okay, we got two there. We got two more. So look, we got four Sleestak, or the perception of four Sleestak.
Let's go.
They're giving a good Sleestak horde feel with this episode. You feel like there's more than 3 for sure.
I can't go any further.
Hey, look up there. A light. Maybe it's a way out. Come on.
Oh no!
Back to where you started from. Up, look.
They're behind us too.
Up,
Dad, maybe if I get behind me.
look. You're behind. Close your eyes. I can't see. Up. 3 is a hissing number. 3.
Easy.
It's the universal repulsor of Sleestak,
Easy, Dad.
and all that's
I was right.
hisses.
This is the key to us getting out of here.
Oh,
A key as a
ooh.
divining rod.
Oh, really now?
What?
Alrighty.
Going.
Dad, look! They're leaving!
We all have those family members that are just.
The Altrusian,
Hey, listen. Whoever you are, thanks. Those monsters are...
my ancestors.
Huh?
Yeah, we all have them.
I am of the generation to be born to this place.
Oh, okay.
10,000, perhaps 100,000 years from now.
Count them.
You mean you're not alive yet?
Well, if he isn't, we're talking to ourselves.
Will,
It is
just stop.
elementary deduction.
Just stop.
None of us belong here. Like myself, you have fallen through a dimensional doorway. In my case, however, only time was affected, not location. Those monsters are my antecedents. This is the past of my home. I am from its future.
So you're so you're saying you got to get back to the future.
For traveling through the universe, I should
Ah.
return to my time.
Could it help us get back home as well?
That is conceivable if we could fix the proper coordinates.
Hey, that's terrific.
Terrific. You do not understand. The Magetti is for my purposes.
Well played, Enik.
Life.
It is not
Oh.
my life that is in question here.
Well then. Looks like it's almost
The
his
Magetti
life.
is mine. I will take it now.
And I'll also give you a commercial break.
Now listen here.
I could take the Magetti by force, but that might render it inoperative.
Just who do you think
Good
that...
question.
He is the owner.
A question?
Yes.
We are the keepers of the time portal through which all travel is accomplished.
Oh, I bet you say that to all
Magetti is an instrument
the
we
travelers.
created to locate and fix the doorways so that these journeys may be undertaken.
When did you ask that?
So that's what you meant by...
Yes,
So what's going on here?
Holly, read the room.
I believe I understand.
You do?
Nope.
I do too. You see, Holly, Enik's a telepath. That means he can read minds. That's why he answered all of my questions before I finished them.
My response of yes was to the mental connection your father made
Connection.
with my
Oh
early
my.
description of the Magetti as a divining rod as to its stated purpose of locating and fixing dimensional doorways.
Listen, would you mind letting us finish our own sentences? I mean, you know, it is good manners.
Good manners is also giving stuff back that don't belong to you.
Something about use of force doing something to the Magetti.
The Magetti determines where and when the doorway shall open.
So it's like a
Therefore,
doorknob.
it was important to build a self-destruct capability into the Magetti. Should some warring species bent on invading other worlds attempt to acquire it through force, hostile and aggressive thoughts could cause it to self-destruct. Built into the Magetti is a telepathic amplifier. Up to a point, it will carry out the impulses anyone near it is thinking.
Oh, so that's how Will was able to knock me over and me push him from a distance.
Yeah, how about that?
Then what's to keep us from using the Magetti to make you do what we want?
I say,
No,
up to a point.
you can't have my
It is
doorknob.
primarily a defensive weapon. Beyond that, its circuits would overload, and it would cease to function.
I don't believe that.
Well, we don't care what you think.
Unfortunate.
Dad, this is our one chance to get home. We can't let him have it.
If what Enik says is true, son.
It isn't. It can't be. He just wants us to give up without a fight.
You're a little assumptive there, Will.
Capable of lying.
Stay away from us.
So are politicians. Ask Trump, he'll tell you.
Foolish human will.
Oh my, wow.
It would go on like this until the Magetti is destroyed, but that would serve no purpose.
Logical point.
Stop it, Will. Stop it. It's not fair. He won't help us get out of here.
I cannot. I said it was conceivable if I knew the proper coordinates. I do not know them. I do not know the way to your world.
Well, all you need is a cell phone with G. Oh, never mind.
Now see what you've done?
Look at the eyes of Rick. He's pretty good acting on this one.
Take it easy. It's okay. I'm sorry, Dad. It's okay.
It is the failure of the human race. They are quick to do battle and quick to destroy. That is
Race.
why they are inferior.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
nobody gets
Racist
angry
much?
where you're from?
Anger is kept in check. That is why my race has endured so long and progressed so far.
You know, I've known people like this. It's like they smell their own farts and it don't stink. Yeah.
Journey. I would be with them now.
Yeah, right.
If only.
If only what?
This object is a companion piece to the Magetti. In conjunction with an external power source, it can serve as one. However, the power does not sustain for long.
The power source doesn't have anything to do with that big jewel in the middle of the Magetti, does it?
Ever think of ever ready batteries?
They are fourth-dimensional nodes, the source of power.
But we have crystals like that all over the place.
I was just about to say that.
That is not possible.
But it is possible. They're all over the Lost City.
Lost City?
Sure.
Hey.
Yeah, we found one the other day.
Lost City.
The Confederate soldier had a couple of them also.
I feel spooky.
That's not unusual.
I mean, I think we're being followed.
Oh, yeah? By what?
You gotta wonder what you're being followed by, huh?
I will tell them to leave.
Yeah, you go do that. We're gonna stay under cover.
Why are they firing at us? We are not threatening them.
Well, Enik, my friend, despite the fact that the Sleestak are your great-great-grandparents, they happen to be vicious and warlike.
That is not possible.
Oh, well, next you'll be telling me that those arrows are Cupid's darts.
Cupid?
Skip it, come on.
Would you be my Valentine?
They're right behind us. If we try to make a run for it, we've had it.
What are we gonna do? We can't just sit here and let them catch us.
Hey, look, it's all you can eat rib day at Land of the Lost.
Where did she come from?
I don't know, but that may be our only chance.
What are your intentions?
My intention is to get that beast angry enough so it'll charge.
Not on rib day. All you can eat. It's not gonna happen.
Bellowing, you make a break for the Lost City. Believe me, I'll be right behind you.
But Dad,
Hey, Alice, down here! Come on, you overgrown lizard! I'm down here!
No wonder you guys are angry all the time. You're such lousy shots. Oh, that's better. Hey, what do you think, Alice, huh?
uh-oh.
Go get him, Alice!
Hey, don't forget your ribs.
Quick, let's
Need
get
a
back to
go
the Lost City before
box?
they come back. Come on, hurry, Holly. Come on, Enik. Run.
Well, that should hold him for a while.
It should.
Is everybody okay?
Hey, where's the go container with the ribs?
What's the...
I have made a grave error. When I fell through the time vortex,
Oh, do tell us, Mr. My Farts Don't Stink.
I went forward. This is my city. The Sleestak are not my ancestors. They are the barbaric descendants of a people who could no longer keep
Yeah, that's what you do when you let your kids play with the tablets all the time.
destroyed my past. This is not the past. This is my future.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about global warming. And a commercial break is in your future.
Pretty good story so far. If you guys see what I'm talking about, you see how Will and Holly just seem like they're kind of out of character a little bit. But anyhow, we are at the break of the show, and under normal circumstances, we would be doing the Bizlok Retro News Flash, um, to cover pop media and stuff like that. Well, today we're going to do something a little bit differently. We have not, for one, there's really nothing out there that I want to cover that you don't know about and that's worth covering on here. And for the other, is reference to the other part of my channel focusing on the book. Really haven't made a post on that this week because of the holiday, and so I'm gonna do that this time. So what we're gonna be doing is covering a little bit of news on my book. Um, Last time we really spoke about it, I was in the process of getting ready to release an abridged version of Ferret Run and the Secrets of Arcadia, and that abridged version, it's done. I have it in the hands of a couple of friends that's just kind of going through it right now for me, and they are going through to read it, make sure everything is good, and to make sure it's ready to release to the rest of the world. But you guys don't know about it. You don't know what my thought process is, and I wanted to share that with you on that this morning. The abridged version, A Ferret Run. This is a version of the book that it's a tool or access for readers, potential readers, and people who are interested to get a quick taste of the book, for them to be able to go through. I think the total pages is like maybe 20 or 21, but it gives you a good, powerful taste of the story without committing to the 400 pages in it. It highlights the strongest and some of the best defining scenes to help gain interest, and it gives you a good review of the characters and a polished sample of the world that the characters live in. In this abridged version, the total chapters, it's like 68. And it's funny, when I started writing it, I got to a point in which it's like, okay, I'm a first time author. This seems like a good place. I'm going to stop here and just kind of be done with it at this point. And I did stop. And for about 8 months, I just left it alone. And I didn't do anything with it. Just kind of just let it sit there. And I let a couple of people read it. And then I met my editor. She read it. And then she said, after she went through it, she said, "Scott, you really don't want to stop here. Why don't you just go ahead and go through?" I was like, "Really?" She says, "Yeah, you're at a point in which something big happens, but it doesn't really break the story in a way that makes it an even break to go into a different book." So I said, I'll take it and run with it. And that was originally like chapter 25. And so I took it from chapter 25 up to chapter 68, and then that was big. That was huge. That pretty much, after I wrote the last sentence of that, I looked and I said, okay, this is what I wanted. A good start, a good story, and a good ending, which leaves it wide open to go into the next book. So it's going to be like a total of 3 books at least. And so yeah, I was very pleased with that. But what this book does, it reveals key players. It reveals Trin and some details on her. And the best way that I can describe Trin to you without spoiling or without anything, well, this is a spoiling, we're talking about it. If you imagine, as I said before, squid, snail, bubblegum, an interdimensional creature. Simple enough. Cold, alien, and just doesn't care about anything. It breaks down on Linnell a little bit. The protagonist of the story gives a little bit of her backstory. It gives a touch of a highlight of the story, which the whole saga will be driven upon. And it brings just elements together and gives you a feel of those elements. I think, and my editor and I, we spoke about it, and she says, this brings everything that we would want the readers to know about, to give them the elements of the world. It's like bungee jumping. It's what is bungee jumping? But bungee jumping. Bungee jumping is suicide without the commitment. You jump off, you get a rush, you get a feel of a bridge, and then you do it. So yeah, anyhow. That gives you the element of the book without committing to it. It gives you the feel, it gives you the vibes, but it's just, without the investment, it gain interest. And that's what I'm hoping you can do when you do read this. Um, when it comes out, I'll put it out on all my socials. So my links are down below. If you can follow my links, you can follow it to my author Facebook and my author Instagram and several of the other social media sites that I have. If you go down there, you look, like, follow those. I will be announcing it when I get there. When I get there, when I put it out, I'll put it out on Amazon. I also put it on my webpage that you can go and take a look at it and then download it and read it and see what I'm talking about here. But yeah, that is the deal with the abridged version of Ferret Run. It's gonna be out there. It's a big step on this. I'm unknown. Nobody knows me. I'm new to the world. Um, but this is a chance for me to put it out there to gain interest and for people to read it, to understand it, and kind of go with it from there. With any luck, this will be what I need to get it started and gain the interest. So, that's where what you're doing right now, watching this, if you can if you can subscribe, if you can interact with me to help this YouTube algorithm pick this up and carry it further, that would be great. Because again, that is one of the uses of this channel, is not only this to bring you these deep dives within these shows that I loved in the past, but kind of help me build my audience, whoever that may be. It'll help me build the audience, and that's where you can help me out. So I appreciate you, and I really appreciate you helping me out on this and sticking around and watching this. But that's going to be it for this part of the show. We're going to end this up, wrap it up, go back to the stranger, see how this episode finishes up, and then from there we'll finish up and we'll call it good for the day. But thanks for your attention here. Thanks for being here. Let's go back to the show and we'll see you on the other side. Later.
And if you can go to these caves, you get a different angle. You've got a whole different setup for the entire seasons. I wonder whatever happened to that set.
Place that you were looking for?
Yes, it has changed since my time, but this is the place. Thank you for helping me.
Well, being this is no other place than around the place, I reckon this is the place, I reckon.
Must be arranged in a special sequence. The formula is most complex and requires complete concentration.
Complete concentration.
Solitude to compute them.
A six-pack of shut the hell up.
But what about us? I mean, aren't you going to help us get home to our world?
I didn't
No.
say that.
I didn't hear him say that.
You might have to stay here?
Mm.
You said
external force. Now, if it can help you to get home, then why can't it help us?
I told you before, I do not have the combination to your world.
I heard him say that.
Power to search for it.
Well, you're not playing fair.
Life's not fair, kid.
That is an inaccurate assumption. There is only one doorway.
And he has the doorknob.
Return, or I shall. I must return.
Must
I
return.
must warn my people.
What do you mean, warn your people?
I must warn my kind that what lies in store for them is war and destruction. Then perhaps we can yet teach ourselves to curb anger and hate, and so ensure survival in our world.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yes.
I am non-refutable.
Dad, we can't let him do
What does
this.
that exactly really mean?
We don't have any other choice, Will.
I must forge the companion piece. You must leave now.
Stop it, Will. What do you think you're doing? Yes. No, son. We've got to make him tell us how to use it.
I have told you before.
At least,
do not know the
at
way
least
to
3
the
other times he
world.
said that.
Find it.
The effort to do so would exhaust the power of the light jewels. Then I could not return home either.
Give it back to him, son. Dad, Enik's only guessing that he can convince his people not to destroy themselves. There's no way that one man can do that. Not even Enik. There are never any guarantees, Will.
Never.
Enik deserves the right to try it. Well, so do we.
I don't know about that.
I must act now.
Uh-oh, you done went and done it, Rick.
What is it, Will? Can't you see it?
Yeah, you done went and did it.
Horrible.
You done went and did it.
Coming for me. Make it go away. There's nothing there, son. There's nothing there.
Man, it's pretty messed up to be a dad to see your kids get terrified like that.
No. No. No.
Holy crap. That's messed up stuff right there.
For your worst fears, Rick Marshall. In the mist are the things that terrify each of you the most.
That's just
These are the
dandy.
monsters that sleep within your minds.
Turn it off, Enik. Turn it off. Stop.
When your son returns the pendant,
What you're doing to us now. Attacking our minds. Isn't this just as bad as the physical violence that eventually destroyed your people?
you gave me no choice.
Enik. Then you go back to the others to explain how to keep their anger in check. Tell them that it's all right to destroy those who oppose them, as long as it's done dispassionately, without feeling, without anger.
I do not understand.
It is not the absence of hate that will save your people, but it is the presence of compassion and of feeling. And if you can't grasp that, then your race is doomed forever, no matter what you do.
I got nothing.
We're not without compassion. I perhaps have lost sight of this.
Think so?
If the generations to follow commit the same errors, then we shall all perish.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize to you all.
All right, Will, I think there's something you need to say.
Applies to us all, doesn't it? I guess deserve a chance to try.
It's no good to us anyways.
Thank you, Will. Holly.
You see, we humans aren't so inferior after all.
Let's not push your luck.
It's them!
Don't they ever give up?
Will, Holly, take 2 stones from the wall, a blue and a green.
Then throw them, hit them in the head, and don't miss.
Marshal, place both hands on the children's shoulders. When I tell you, place both stones together and let them touch.
Well, what's going to happen?
A force field. It will not last long, but long enough.
Well, what's going to happen to you?
The Sleestak will not bother me. Touch the stones.
This is the marshals getting stoned.
It's not going to work.
I hope so.
Just keep the stones
It's in the
together.
script. Nope. They noped out of this one.
I think you can separate the crystals now.
That could pretty come in useful on some situations.
They're gone.
Let's go. Come on.
Come on, Will.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Good luck, Enik.
And then it was over. See you guys on the other side.
Okay. Yeah. That was an episode. Quick episode. And, be perfectly honest, and I think I touched bases on this last week, reference to a little bit of overacting. But, in all transparency, watching this episode again and being a father, and kind of just looking at the situation they're in, I can't say it's overacting. I really can't, because the scene with Enik, making them confront their most fears to get the Maggette back, granted, Enik, that's some low stuff to, play with somebody's mind that way. That's pretty low, but if I saw that in my mind and it was truly something that feared me, I mean, I can't mock and say overacting or anything like that if I was being honest, because, that's the case. And I remember previously making the comments to myself about, man, that's some overacting right there. And again, looking at these shows, taking the retroactive view at it and just seeing it, it's like, I was wrong on that. That's good acting. That is some very good acting. So I have to give them all kudos on this. So yeah. But yeah, comparing to the behaviors of Will and Holly this episode to everything that we've ran into so far, it seems to me that they were written differently. It seems to me that, I don't know, even as brothers and sisters, they fight and they get along, but I mean, it just seemed like Will really had his big bowl of assholeos that morning. I mean, yeah, and that's just different compared to the rest of the episodes. They wrote them differently, and that to me it really stands out like that. But yeah, reference to Enik and the racism part, to me that stood out when he started, made the comments that made me say them, my farts don't stink and that stuff. And he was looking down on him, and it's, don't know what their impression of humans was or anything like that, but you definitely get that feel. And I guess that was written there at that point to where during the scene when they were facing their fears, he could kind of do some retrospect and kind of see, what, that we aren't any better. We're just the same as you guys. So the whole thing for racism And that aspect really, you know, it kind of made it end well. It made a good point to that story. And me piggying tail, piggy, piggybacking off that with Ferret Run, um, of course I'm gonna do something like that. That'll happen in book 3 or so down the road, but I mean I'm not gonna reveal it to you. You'll just have to read it when it comes out. But as with the whole things, the inspiration for the atoms and the things that we write that goes in our imagination, this is just a small drop of what Land of the Lost has done for myself and other people. You have these stories, you have these atoms that are out there that just really tell a story, and you take from that story, you learn from it, you pass it to others, and you even let it inspire you. That's what a good show like that's about, and that's what a good show like that does. But yeah, um, and that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Bizloks Retro Hour. For those of you guys who came back, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you. For your new and for new folks who are out there, thank you for coming. Thank you for checking this out. As you notice, we've got several other episodes. Feel free to watch them. Feel free to take them in. Um, like, leave a comment. Feel free to. If there is a show that you wanted me to do, you know, just make a note out there and request it. My brother has requested Space Giants, and he's also wanted me to go through a couple of old Warner Brothers cartoons. Now, with that being said, you know, where do you find some of the good old school stuff that hasn't been edited? That's going to be the trick to find. If we find old school Warner Brother cartoons, they are really going to be edited, and the the, the violent spirit that's in them may not be there. But anyhow, um, thank you for showing up. I look forward to seeing you again. You all be safe. Take care of each other, and we'll see you next week. Y'all have a good one. Bye.